Altuve hit a walk-off winner the other day, and his teammates ripped his jersey off completely.
Right.
And it's like, what are you guys trying to prove now? Like, why do you keep reminding people of this? Because, like, of course he's not going to be wearing anything now. You've been busted, but like,
right, because if you don't know, there was the famous home run from 2017, I believe, where he hit a walk-off home run. His teammates were gathering to celebrate him, and he pointed like, "Don't rip my shirt."
He like covered himself up,
and people are like.
And then in the interview afterwards, they asked him, and he said it was because his wife doesn't like it. He didn't want to upset his wife.
He also said something about a tattoo that his wife didn't like.
Yeah.
But he has no tattoos on his chest or any.
Yeah.
It's all very flimsy. And there's a lot of trolling going back and forth between those two franchises this weekend. Because apparently the Astros, they had like it was like their 2019, the giveaway was the 2019 AL championship ring, replica ring or something.
They had a trophy, a ring, and I think a pennant or something.
Something like that. All referencing the last playoff series where they walked off the Yankees. Then in one of the games, Aaron Judge hit a homer, and he mocked Altuve as he was rounding third base, like, "Oh, don't take my jersey off." So,
and the Astros catcher pulled his jersey down when he hit a homer in the series at some point as well.
Yeah.
So
it's weird watching because it's like the biggest cheating scandal in like 20 years, and they're like somehow weirdly using it, like leaning into it, I guess.
Like they're the victims, kind of.
Yeah. It's weird.
And then also, it's another example of how terrible Rob Manfred is, because like more guys, like they're cracking down on the sticky stuff. And there have been multiple guys who are like, it's crazy that there's harsher penalties for this thing that we've all been allowed to use for years. But these guys who we all know cheated a few years ago got no penalties, no punishment whatsoever. It's ridiculous.
Right,
man.
Because we pretty much know now that Altuve had a little buzzer on him that would let him know the pitch, right?
That's what it seems like. Nobody's presented any hard evidence like they did with the trash can banging, but like it's so suspicious. It was such a weird thing, you know.
And fans are still remembering. I forgot to mention it last week at the Blue Jays game. George Springer is now on the team, and every time he went up to bat, you could hear people booing or trash can stuff, or even when he was on the I was in right field, and they shifted him over late in the game, and when he came over, people were still giving him some guff.
Well, I heard this theory floated, and I think there's something to it, because I believe it's Altuve. Who's the other Astro that just decided not to do the All-Star game?
Correa?
They both declined. They were voted into the All-Star team, and both are not going. And the theory that I heard floated that I think probably has some merit to it is that they really don't want to be in a clubhouse with all those other guys.
Yeah, I mean,
because you know, like that's going to be very awkward and uncomfortable. All these guys who you cheated against a couple years ago, you cheated against them, their teammates. You could have probably like ruined some careers through cheating, like guys getting lit up, and then they're like lose confidence and have shaky starts.
They don't get re-signed, or like, you know, guys that are free agents that you light up and they don't get a contract.
So to me, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say again too. We've talked about this before, but there were tons of players who were ticked about all this going into spring training last year, and then COVID sort of killed that story. But like, I'm sure all those guys are still pissed off. Obviously, they're all still mad about it.
Yeah, and it's even weirder how they're like leaning into the thing, and Altuve had his shirt taken off and was like, "See, I got nothing." And it's like, yeah, you got nothing to hide now, but we know what you did, and you haven't paid any consequence. You haven't paid any price for it. And I think it's probably true that those two guys didn't want to be an all-star, but go sit in a clubhouse and have all these guys. You know, who knows how they're going to handle it? Those guys could give them the silent treatment. They could confront them.
Yeah.
Regardless, clearly they were like, I don't want any part of that, so I'm just gonna go home.